Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for another tutorial in Melinda's Rubber Room. I am Melinda Pierce and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you a tutorial on how to make this card. It's a fun dimensional card and it does fold up flat to fit into an envelope. And you can write whatever you want on the back of the card. There's the back. All right. And I do have another sample here of a Christmas one that I did. It's the Christmas one. And there it is, folding up. And it does fit on, it does sit flat onto a countertop or a mantle so you can display your card. Okay, so let me get right to it. I'll point you down, and the one that I'm making today is going to be slightly different. I like to kind of mix up my samples, so let's see how it turns out. Okay. So this card I originally had shown on one of my Wednesday morning Zoom classes. You are all welcome to join me on those Zoom classes. We all kind of get together and work on our own projects, and then I show how to make a featured project, and this happened to be my featured project. So let me see if I can get my camera set up right. Alrighty, so I'm going to do this from start to finish so you can see how I'm cutting my paper and everything. So the base of the card, this base here, is going to start with a 4 1/4 by 10 3/4. So I am using the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. So I'm going to cut my paper with the dark blade, and then I'm going to rotate it. So that was cut at 4 1/4. I'm going to open this arm out so that I can measure 10 3/4. Just cutting off just a tiny little bit. And then I'm going to score that at 5 1/2 and 7. Move this over here so you can see it too. It's my little cheat notes. So 5 1/2. So I'm going to score now, so I want to use the lighter blade. So score at 5 1/2 and 7, 8 1/2, and 10. Okay, and then while I have the cutter here, I'm going to cut the front flap cardstock, which is this piece here. Sorry, this piece here. So that is going to measure 3 inches by 5 3/4. So I'm going to start with the largest measurement. So that is 5 3/4 and 3. And I'm going to score this at 4 inches. So again, bringing in my lighter blade, score at 4 inches and 5 1/2. Okay, so wherever you see this tiny little piece here, that is going to be where it is going to attach to the base of the card. So it's the small one attaches here and here. Okay. All right, I am done with the cutter for now. In case you're wondering, the cardstock that I'm using is Misty Moonlight. It's one of the new in colors. I love this color blue. It's not quite as dark as the Night of Navy that Stampin' Up! Sells. And it's just a really nice, kind of tranquil type of blue. Okay, so as you probably noticed, I just went ahead and scored on all of my, reinforced my score lines. Just going to come back in with a bone folder. And I'm just folding these all towards the inside, so it's just going to kind of roll up like a jelly roll. Okay, so you should be able to get it into this type of a situation with your card base. Okay, so before we put this all together though, I want to go ahead and cut my designer series paper and attach that because it's a little harder to attach it once it's all put together. Okay, so for my designer series paper, for the base, I need a 4" by 5¼ inch piece and a 4" by 1¼ piece. So let me see if I can get that out of this. Okay, so this measures 4 inches by 1¼ I'll take one of my bigger pieces and do 4 inches by 5¼ Okay, so this is going to be attached to the base of my card here. And then this will fold up and be attached to the front of my card here. If you choose to do another strip here, you can do that. It's actually the same measurement as that piece that we already cut. So that would be 2 pieces that measure 4 by 1¼ And I have a piece here. I'm going to go ahead and do that just because I have it and I can. All right, so that is going to decorate the base nicely. And then for the front flap piece, you want a designer series paper that measures 3¾ by 2¾ And that's not going to work. So I will do 2¾ by 3¾ and 2¾ by 1¼ So this paper that I'm using is from the 6x6 pack of designer series paper in the current holiday catalog. It's called 'Tis the Season. Has great paper in here for the holiday season, but also has great paper that you can use all year round. So the card that I'm making today, just like this one here, obviously is a happy birthday one. It's not related to Christmas at all, but the paper on the other side is Christmas trees. So it's a really good multi-pack of paper that you can use all year round. So I really liked it. So I wanted to show you different ways that you can use it. Okay, so back to our card. So we have the designer series paper for the front flap that is going to be attached just like this one is. Get my adhesive here. So this part here is all just really assembly. There's no stamping involved until you get to the design part. So again, this is the designer series paper that's going on the front flap of the card. That's going to go right like so. And then this is the base of our card. So we have the larger piece of designer series paper that we had cut. That's going to go in this larger area of the base of the card. And I mentioned that I had cut 2 pieces exactly the same size. So that is going to go on the square or rectangle right here. Just trying to center this, keep the same margin going all the way around. Like so. So that will be the top part, and then I want to decorate this side here too. Like so. So now we have these little tabs here, and that is where I'm going to use my tear and tape. This the tear and tape tends to be a little bit stronger than some of the other adhesives, so it's good for this type of purpose. It's just so handy that you can just tear it and be done with it. You do want to reinforce that adhesion by just running your nail or a bone folder across there. Then you're just going to tear off the extra white paper. Okay, so then when you're adhering it, all you do is you fold at this bottom fold here. So you'll have your two decorated pieces if you put two pieces on, two Designer Series paper pieces on there. And just fold it and reinforce it. And that's going to create your box on the bottom, like so. And then you can fold it up like that as well. Just make sure it's got good adhesion all the way around. And there is your card base. So now we're going to take the front flap and we're going to put the tear and tape along this little piece. And then we're also going to put tape right along this bottom piece. You don't want it over the whole section here. You just want it along the bottom because that is going to attach to this square piece of the box. So make sure you only put tape on this maybe 1/3 section of your flap. If you put too much adhesive down, then you're going to glue the whole thing down, and that's not what you want. You want to be able to continue that movement on your card. Just kind of burnishing that tape down there, make sure it stays. Lifting off those back pieces. If your tape is hanging over the edge a little bit, just tuck it back in. Okay, so now this piece goes right down on the bottom here. You're going to match up the bottoms together, kind of keeping the whole thing centered, like so. And then you're going to tear off. Trying to see if this is still recording. Yep, we're doing good. Okay, so you're going to tear off this piece here. Go ahead and fold your card flat down. And then fold this piece down. So the two tops of your card should should match up together. So this is the folded piece of the flap, and the top of your base of the card should match up. Okay, so I'm going to reinforce that adhesion again. All right, and there's the folding mechanism and how that works. Okay, so there it is, standing up. So now all we have to do is decorate it. This time I'm actually going to use the Sailing Home stamp set. I love this stamp set. I love all the stamped images on here. And I just love the lighthouses. And it does come with dies, and I'm going to use those today as well. So I'm just going to stamp with the Misty Moonlight and the large lighthouse. Just stamp that on Whisper white paper. And then I'm going to die cut that out, so it doesn't matter that it's crooked or that I got little smudges on it. It's fine. And then I'm also going to stamp Let Hope Be Your Anchor Through the Storms of Life. And I'm going to cut that out with a label punch. So here's my die for the lighthouse. Whoops. I think my washi tape is very strong anymore. I'm just going to use my magnetic pad here. Attach it to that. Keep it in place while I cut it. And I'll use this little die to cut out the words. Using my cut and emboss machine back here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Well, no, you can't because you're pointing downwards. But the handy little machine is right behind me now. It's very convenient. Okay, so there are my stamped and die cut images. So I'm going to put this right here. And this guy right down here. This card actually allows a lot of versatility as far as placement because you can put a greeting up here on the top like I did on this one. You can have things hanging off the edges like the little bird's feathers here. So you can really get creative with it. So on the words, I'm just going to lay that flat and have the lighthouse popped up with dimensionals right on top of that. I'm using the mini dimensionals just so that they can get into some of the little smaller parts of the lighthouse. Cleaned off my table for Thanksgiving and I don't have all my handy tools with me right now, so I had to use my fingernails to pick those little coverings off of there. That's going to go on like so. So there's the front of my card, again folding flat for in the envelope. And then on the back of the card, I'm just going to put a white piece of cardstock right there so that I can write the card. Hopefully a card of encouragement to somebody who might need it. Seems like we all need a little encouragement these days, so I'm sure this card will come in handy. All right, so there is the finished card. Hope you guys enjoyed that video and learned something new. Feel free to like my videos and share them. I would love for you to join me on my Facebook page at Melinda's Rubber Room so you can keep up to date on everything that's happening in my stamp studio. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to help you out with any questions you might have stamping related. All right, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.